And it's just a privilege to share this with you tonight. A lot of you have been on this call before. Some of you are new, but we always just go with the flow. And one of these days, we're going to ask you to do it. So listen up well and take good notes, because it's very exciting to be able to share this with all you new people that are out there. Microcurrency. This is something that is not well known by a lot of people. If you're into alternative, there are various stages and levels of alternative, and people may consider themselves alternative, but I really see the alternative field being wrapped around the ability to change the frequencies, being able to change the voltage. And I've been in practice about 40 years, and my degree is a PhD in nutrition, and then I've gone on to get all the training that would equal to the ability to do all the work the naturopath does. And of course, when you're in this field, one of the things that happens is people get so dead-ended at the allopathic realm that they go search out, usually through referral, somebody that can help them. And it's only been by God's grace, because I've learned along all the way. And I learned very early on that I wouldn't get cases that I couldn't do, because I believe God brought them to me, that they would be coming there because he would give me an answer, and he would. And people got amazing, and still do. I still work with people and still give amazing, see amazing things happen to people. But when my friend Michael Martin called me and said, hey, you got to know about this. And, you know, I was like, David, I was like, oh my goodness, there was that resonance with it right away, because I'm always looking for some kind of frequency device that's easy to use, that's economical, that's going to do a lot for a lot of people. I don't want to be just recurring more expenses that they pay me. I want them to be giving more and more back to themselves and their family. And this was amazing. And my training comes from Germany. I have tons of training in Germany, and German machines and frequency, and they've given me some of the most amazing training. And it's very sad today that a lot of this training isn't being given to the naturopaths and the doctors. And so they, you know, they have some things, but I was able to get very, very, very deep training, and spent thousands and thousands of hours and dollars getting that, and the equipment that it took was thousands of dollars. And so when I heard that this was based upon that kind of German technology, only now they had upgraded it, and they'd worked with the mother company, the Time Waver. They had 2,000 doctors who were using these frequencies on about 750,000 patients. Well, that's a pretty good database to come forth and say, okay, now let's take it. And Nino Nuna is the doctor that kind of stimulated. He'd asked about 3 to 6 clinics in Portugal, and said to the owner of the company, who is a quantum physicist, Marcus Schmidtke, said, let's put this together and let's get something beyond what is in the practitioner's office, where we're the ones that have all the knowledge and we have to do the work, and they have to spend $100 a session. And they have to come back every day, or they come back every week or every month, and they spend thousands of dollars. And the speed at which they can get well is not that much. And the other thing is that they can't reproduce what they got in the office to their family members. So Nino Nuna got together with Marcus Schmidtke, and they came up with this. And boy, what the mind can conceive, the mind can make. And that's what they did. And because Marcus is a very, very steeped in quantum physics, a very good scientist, he brought together other scientists to help put this together. And voila, we had it. And when I heard what it could do and read about it, and just understood that this is downloading from the cloud in your iPhone, from the quantum, and it's giving you these frequencies, these programs that these doctors have developed. So this little microcurrent device, which I had right here, this little device is a quantum sensor, and it's been cleared by the FDA for pain, chronic pain, acute pain, muscle pain, arthritis pain, soreness due to overexertion. And then it has non-medical applications, which they didn't have to clear, which are like helping your brain to work better, and helping your learning, and helping to balance organs and to detox. And they don't consider these things that they have to necessarily put their stamp on, but they're definitely safe to use. They're things that we've all used in our biofeedback, in our lasers. We have frequencies like for inflammation, frequencies for pain. And now we had something that will take and read your imprint of your energy imprint, download the program from the cloud to this little sensor, and it'll take about 1,000 programs, not programs, frequencies that the doctors have figured, oh, this is what you could use for this problem. And lo and behold, it senses through the quantum, what do I need? Well, I only need 6 to 10 of those. So then it'll rotate through those 20 minutes to 80 minutes, whatever program I'm choosing, and it will start changing my body's energy field. As I change the energy, I'm going to change my health. Now, some of you have just got an inkling of what energy medicine is. Well, let me give you some links so that you can kind of get a grounding and a peg of where we're going. PET scans, CT scans, MRIs, electroencephalograms, electromyograms, electroacupuncture, acupuncture, chiropractic, massage, and many, many more things. So this is a wearable state-of-the-art. Now, when it says state-of-the-art, and there's other Me Too's coming along, there's no Me Too with this, guys. This is alone. You do not have that kind of data behind it. 2,000 practitioners. You don't have 750,000 people that they've tested and gotten data from. You just don't have that on other pieces of equipment. They come out and they say they may do the same, but they don't. They're not even close. And the fact that it's so portable, the fact that it was made in Germany, I love the German because all my good equipment comes from the Germans. All the stuff that's really highest standards. And then it's field tested. So that was really an important thing to me. It was important that, you know, if the people are going to use this on themselves and they're going to be testing themselves, I want to know that it's safe for them. Well, it's safe. You can push yourself into a healing crisis if you do too many a day. And that's what a lot of us have done in the beginning. And then we kind of have a few days of being extremely tired. Sometimes you get more of a pain or a headache because you're detoxing. When you straighten out the resonance, you straighten out the frequency in the body, and you cause the electricity to go into balance, what happens? That cell goes from being misbalanced, unbalanced, too low in energy to raising the energy. Whenever you raise the energy, well, so that you can charge those cells. So Healy supplies that electrical balance to the cell, and it can restore the cell potential. Okay, so the average body, a body, when it's healthy, has minus 62 to minus about 72, 75 voltage in the cells. When it goes below minus 62 into the 50s, you're going to get sick. You may have a cold, you may have a flu, you may just be exhausted. You may have a virus like Epstein-Barr, you may have all kinds of things going on. And that may be coming from a brain injury. It may be coming from you got a trauma and open the doors and you get viruses and bacteria. But whatever, something is causing the voltage to go down. When you get into the 40s, you go into the delta cells, or the cells that cause those life-threatening diseases that none of us want to have. And so this is very, 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 very important for those of us that are going up the ladder in age, because what's happening is we're losing voltage. Our cells are wearing out, and so we've got to recharge them. Some of you know that I had a life-threatening accident a year ago and I almost died. I had an ATV overturn on me, and I was laying there unconscious for 2 hours, had a spinal injury, and then I woke up and I'm laying there pinned with this 500-pound machine. Nobody was around, and my cell phone was beside me, and my kid just said, oh, dial 911. Okay, I dialed 911, but there's no cell service. They forgot to tell me that it doesn't work if you don't have cell service. He said, oh, it'll just work anytime. There actually is, and you should all learn this. If you push the side button, it's called SOS. You can look it up in your settings. You do have an emergency switch on there, but I didn't know that. So my emergency go-to is always, God. So I said, okay, here I am. I'm bleeding out. My leg is broken in half, but it's held together by my tight jeans. And I'm realizing that I'm not going to make it to the morning, and there's nobody there. At one point, I yelled and screamed to the neighbor who's a mile away, which nobody can hear you, 200 feet away. So I just said, okay, God, if you want me to continue on this earth and you have something for me, you got to make this 911 connect. So it tried it a couple times and finally it connected for 2 seconds. I told them where I was and they came out there within 20 minutes and took 3 men to lift that off of me. And they lifted me into the, stretcher and put me in a ambulance and took me to town. They already had the sense to know that I needed a helicopter. They did not take me to the local hospital. They airlifted me immediately to the hospital, and I had surgery that morning. That was about 10:30, and about 2, 3 in the morning, 5, I don't know. I was out of it. They gave me emergency surgery. And as a result of that, I experienced the worst pain that I've ever experienced. And I have never known that kind of pain. I had pain. And I don't take pain pills. I'll do anything but take a pain pill. Well, at a point I was begging for pain pills and we had to switch them a couple times, as you often do. So I understand and I understood. So that was another trigger. That was another resonance with me when Michael told me about this. Man, if people have to go through that kind of pain, and I meet people who don't have that pain for what I had 3, 4 months, they have it for 6, 7, 8, 10, 15 years. And we have something that can give them, if that alone is the only reason that I have to tell people about the Healy. Everybody knows somebody with pain, and practically all of us have pain at one level at one time or another. That was it for me too, because I don't want people to have to keep suffering in that kind of pain. I had an experience. Now, I was very fortunate. I healed quickly. I had a lot of tools in my head, and I knew what was going to work very fast to help me heal from the concussion and to help me move quickly through that. And I was on my back really literally for 3 months. And during that time, I just took what I knew. I couldn't do all my brain therapies and my energy work, but I did other things that healed the brain. And I was very grateful that it also healed the pain. And when I would go to the doctor to say, you're not in pain, I go, no, I'm not in pain. The Healy works in and of itself if you don't know nothing. Now, I had fallen. I was out on my ranch where I had the accident, but I was out mowing with a big lawn weed mower in the pastures and got into a tight spot and fell against a railroad tie that was a fence post and hit the corner of it with my back. Thank God it didn't hit my spine. Well, you can imagine that was bad pain. I was able to get up, put the mower away, and then go in the house, and it was fine that night. I probably put oils on it or something. I had just gotten my Healy and I was so excited, but I thought, well, I don't know what to do tonight. I was just going to bed. So I got up at 4 or 5 in the morning with excruciating pain, so bad. I said, all right, time to use the Healy. Got up, did the Healy on a pain program, and it was gone. That excruciating, terrible pain that was the worst you can think of at that time was gone. But my neck had a whiplash. So I thought, I'm not done. So I did another 20-minute program on the neck. It was gone. I did a chiropractor weeks and weeks later just to kind of get adjustment, but I was done with the pain. And that was so amazing to me because I'd been out of pain. Now I had severe pain. I don't like pain. I don't like pain at all because I'm not going to take any drugs for it. So to have a little tool that within 40 minutes, my pain was gone was just absolutely amazing. And we can function as we are made by God to function in love and kindness and the fruits of the Spirit. So that's my goal. And when I fall short of that, I have a great tool.